We're Batman at 89. Hello and welcome once again to Bat Minute 89, the show that waltzes its way through Tim Burton's Batman 1 minute at a time. I am one of the hosts, John Parker.
And I am the other host, Niall McGowan.
Sup?
Yeah.
I won't do that again.
Was not expecting that. People say sup, though. In my head, it automatically goes to that one episode of Friends when Joey was pretending to be young. And he was just going around going, sup. You playing the PlayStation? That's whack.
Or more recently, hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, it was kind of like that
anyway.
before Buscemi got around it. It's like Buscemi's stolen Matt LeBlanc's thunder.
But anyway, yes, we are joined today by a very special guest. Once again, we have Molly Bailen of Cabin Minute Cast. Hello.
Hey, guys.
Sup? And this is minute 107. We're all the way here. And the minute starts with a bat in the belfry again, and it ends with the devil. It ends with the devil dancing in the pale moonlight.
Yeah.
Or the devil, as we've established.
Yeah, I do. We kind of alluded to it in the beginning of or not in the beginning, at the end of the last minute there. But I do love the atmosphere of this whole little exchange of like the kind of creepy silence of Batman walking around, and then the Joker's kind of echoing comments to him, like, "Oh, it can truly be said that I have a bat in my belfry," and then doing a little kind of like a little sinister chuckle. And then Batman kind of like, all right, kind of keeps moving. And then it's actually the thing was on the DVD menu, the shot of him coming towards the camera. And and I just love that line then because it has the double meaning of the "shall we dance?" Because obviously he's about to start dancing with Vicky Vale, but at the same time, "shall we dance" could be interpreted as in let's start this fight, basically, as well.
Well, there's also another. I didn't know this, right? It could be me being stupid. There's another double meaning just before with the bat in the belfry, because at first I asked myself, why is he saying this like it's a kind of funny common phrase?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know it is a phrase.
Oh yeah,
I researched it. Yeah, which means like somebody's crazy.
So,
but of course, yeah. So it's another double thing. Of course, it's like, well, he's crazy. Batman's crazy, and there is a bat in the belfry.
Yeah. He wasn't lying when he said it can truly be said. It's like, yep, it literally can't be said.
I genuinely didn't know that was a phrase, so that blew my mind. It took it from a line that I've always found kind of silly, like fun but silly. But to actually like, oh no, that's clever. I like that. That's really, really good.
But yeah, then we get the beginning of actually just before we get into the all-out assault, we do get I have to say again, this bat outfit in the right lighting, it looks amazing, and in this lighting, it just looks so kind of cool. Like just that kind of the shining down from the top, and it's sort of kind of darkening out his eyes and stuff. And it's like this, you can see like we've had other shots where it's been like it looks pretty goofy on him. And in these instances, it's like, no, this looks fantastic.
Well, he does in general as well. Like the look on his face, the lighting is really helping with that as well, because he looks furious.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's ready for action. He's kind of cautious though at the same time, which I quite liked, because this could go south like in an instant if he isn't careful. So you can see though he wants to just beat the crap out of Joker, but he's being careful, and the lighting sort of helps you see that on his face there. It's really well shot.
Yeah.
I think this is the best lighting for a Batman ever. I mean, this really is so classic, and I know that this moment of him just turning around and the camera just rolling up on him was like super iconic when this movie came out as part of a trailer. But I think of all the movies, I think that this is just like what Batman should look like, slightly in the shadows, a little lit with the eyes. And I know that was a comment that they thought that he would look really good, with his eyes in the cowl for this reason. And I think it totally plays, and it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I've seen it like a million times, or at least 30, 40 times. And it's still got me. I think it still just completely holds up as like the gold standard for that gothic lighting for Batman.
Definitely. This is, to me, it's perfect. Like the way it looks, the way it feels, everything. It's great. It really captures what I, as a movie fan, like about Batman. Anyway, and this is the perfect setting for all of that. This, in the cathedral tower. I love it.
And as you kind of said there, Molly, like we would be remiss if we didn't mention that once again. I think we talked about it like a week or two back, because me and John, we did an unaired pilot of this show where we reviewed the trailer, and we had the first bit of footage of that trailer was him flying down in the Batwing, and then that trailer does end with the shot of him spinning around and the kind of camera closing in on his face. And I think even in that test recording, we're like, that's an amazing shot. And and that trailer did the classy thing at the end as well. They didn't give you the title because they knew. You knew what it was. It was just like, just showed you that, and then it showed you the bat symbol. I was like, that's all you need. And it's kind of a cool mic drop of like, hey, we don't need to tell you what the movie is. You know what the movie is.
That's confident in your movie, isn't it? Like, we're not going to tell you.
So we've had talk about the influence of this movie on Chris Nolan as well. And I always wonder if something like that kept in his head. Because one of the things I really, really, really love about like the Dark Knight movies is that no opening titles. And I love the real artistry of like, the first one you have your DC logo and your Warner Brothers logo, and then it's because the first one opens was just a swarm of bats in the sky, and for like a split second you see the symbol, and it goes into the movie. And I remember I was seeing that in the cinema, and I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing. And then even the Dark Knight's even better because it's like, because everything's just no music or anything, and it's just you have your logos, and then it's just like the wall of flame. And you get the slightest hint of the Joker's theme starting up, and then the symbol comes towards you, and you're into the movie. And then the Dark Knight Rises actually isn't as good as the kind of cracking ice. I don't like that one as much. But I do wonder if that kind of mentality is what, from that original trailer, did that get to Chris Nolan, where he's like, oh, you don't need to show them the title. All they need to see is the symbol. Like that's the movie. Like that's how you suck people in. So yeah.
Well, Batman is a symbol.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
People don't need to know his name as much as they might want to know his name.
Even though he did the beginning of this movie, he is going around making sure people know his name. So
no, they know Batman. They don't know his name.
Yeah. Well, but he's it's not so much like remember my symbol. He's like, all right, I want you to tell all your friends about me. My name is Batman, and
you can contact me at. On Instagram.
Even talk about his symbol. Like, again, you can contact him through the bat symbol in the bat signal. So it's like, there you go. It's a whole big thing.
So he invented tweeting. It's kind of the...
Truly, did that not make him the greatest villain of all?
Seriously, it's a super villain.
That's how we get all our guests. Don't say anything.
No.
No. We won't have anyone coming on. I have a question as well, because, Joker says, shall we dance, as you say. And then we see a man come spinning and flipping from out of nowhere. You see it from afar. Are we supposed to, for a split second, think that this is the Joker? This is Jack Nicholson tumbling towards Batman?
I really, really wish it was now.
My God, it's the most flexible senior citizen ever.
I would love it if, it was an obvious stuntman, but then you get a close-up of his face as he lands. Like, it is Jack.
A
bit like Count Dooku.
Oh, I was going to say Black Dynamite, when the guy actually, the fight with Bullhorn, the guy, he accidentally punches the real guy, and the guy just goes like, mother, and cuts the scene, and it's like a different guy altogether he's fighting. Yeah. But, of course, Black Dynamite, starring Michael J. White, who would go on to be in The Dark Knight. So, there you go.
Oh, everything's connected.
Yeah.
We need to link more stuff to your movie, Molly. I haven't actually got anything on this. Niall, come on.
Actually, let's try to think.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I think, for some reason, my mind will go, I can't say for sure, but like Richard Jenkins, he seems to me like he would have been in, like, he would have done like a voice in an animated movie of Batman. There's something about him that strikes me that way. But I'll have to ponder that between episodes, maybe just try to find a connection.
You could just use the director as the connection, because the director has worked on a DC movie lately.
Oh, I mean, I think you're getting, because Cabin in the Woods is Drew Goddard directed it, but I know you're.
Oh,
thinking,
he wrote it.
Yeah,
though,
Josh Whedon. It's like wrote it.
Writer.
Joss,
God.
Joss wrote.
Yeah,
well, they
he's the
both
writer.
wrote it, but yeah.
Well, the writer then is the director of a Batman connected. So.
Right, yeah. And sadly came in a little later on that process because of a tragedy. But yes, that there you're right. There is a DC title that's connected now.
Yeah, a vague connection, but it's there. We'll take it if we can't think of anything.
But we actually get this guy coming towards Batman though. Like he is a returning goon, but it's not the guy I always thought he was. Because I think we mentioned this way back in the episode where the guy I'm about to talk to shows up in. But for ages, I thought this was the sword guy. This was his.
Well, that would make sense. That's his thing.
It would have been because of what happens here. Like he comes in again. It's all flash and it's all like, hey, look how intimidating I am, and then he's easily dispatched. And particularly again, this guy's got sword in his friggin' legs or whatever. And it's...
Yeah, at first I thought they were coming out of his boots, right? And I was thinking to myself, that's really impractical because when he lands on his feet, they're going to go up into his legs. I didn't realize they're actually strapped to the outside of his leg. And they like come out a bit like the hidden blade in the Assassin's Creed game. You know, like,
Also, a connection I would make is actually, if you recall, in The Dark Knight, the Joker has a knife in his shoe. He has
yeah.
During that full thing
yes.
at the party, like, he kind of does something with kind of slams his heel a bit, and a knife juts out from his toe.
Wait a minute, did they get the idea for that from this?
They get so many weird kind of connections. It's like, yeah, I could imagine. I've been like, yeah, it's a little nod. But no, this goon is returning because this is the guy. We've seen him a few times now. He was the guy in the Party Man scene who was carrying the champagne, and he was the guy. Then we saw him dancing next to the licorice all sorts and whatnot during the parade scene. And we never really talked about him because I think I was just like, oh well, we've got stuff here so we can save this guy for when he shows up later. But now's the time, I guess, to crack out this guy.
Yeah, do it.
He's known in the Batman wiki as Gymnast Joker Goon. And he's played by a fellow called Philip Tan, who was a gymnast, shockingly enough.
What?
Yeah, and apparently he was also the British Taekwondo champion at the time. So,
well, they didn't really put his talents to much use. Let's be honest.
Not at all. No. But he's also in several things. He's in something called My Grandfather the Assassin, which sounds intriguing. He played the second ape teenager in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. So,
Teenager?
Apparently.
I know he's in costume, but come on. Just hire an actual teenager. Come on, do it. Do it for us.
But he's also in Big Mama's House. He was in Bloodsport 2 as John. So apparently he played you in that. Remember when you kind of got involved in the Kumite?
I didn't. I didn't want to go into my Kumite background on the show. You know, I mean, I am a Kumite veteran.
Yeah.
Survivor winner of Kumite.
Well, I mean, all the people who've seen Bloodsport 2 will know that the character played by Philip Tan, that's you. That's who that character is. That's who he's based on.
We're very similar people. So I went out and sought out the guy to play me, and I landed on him, and I knew he was the one.
Yeah. Although weirdly, you didn't know he was in Batman. So it's kind of weird. Everything is literally connecting as we speak.
It never came up when I was talking to him and I was training him and everything.
Yeah, important. He didn't happen to. Did he try to make sure that your character did way more gymnastic things? And so, no, you do a bit of gymnastics. I've seen you. I used to have those knives in your shoes as well. Actually, that's yes. Totally ripping you off.
This is what I'm known for around Liverpool: is the knife in the shoe. You know, so
old knifey shoey. Yeah, that's what they call it.
But no, I made him tone the gymnastics down. I was like, I'm more of a hard hitter. I'm not so flippy. I'm not like I'm not a Jet Li. But yeah.
But this guy, Phil Tan, also worked on old childhood favorite of mine, Martial Law with Sammo Hung. We have everything's connected as well, because I remember it from watching Martial Law. Two of my favorite actors pop up in that show. Tim Curry's in it for a bit. He obviously was one of the choices for the Joker. Was originally the voice of the Joker in the Batman animated series. And then Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator, who did the Scarecrow in an episode of the Batman. He did the best version of the Scarecrow, arguably. And,
I'm upset that Sammo Hung isn't one of your favorite actors since it's his show.
Well, to be fair, I've only really watched them in martial law, so I can't. But feel I need to see more of his work to.
Well, on air, I'm going to recommend Wheels on Meals. That is correct, by the way. I've not mispronounced that. Wheels on Meals. Watch that. Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars is also pretty good, so watch those.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, this guy's in Temple of Doom, Surf Ninjas, and then going back to, we haven't had one in a while, but this guy, he's got the duo. He was both in an episode of Doctor Who and The Bill. So there you go. He's done it all. This guy. He's connected. But apparently he went on then to be a very successful stunt coordinator, and he actually worked on The Shadow, which was with Alec Baldwin, Kim Basinger's one-time husband. And then Demolition Man, which is just awesome. I just want to mention Demolition Man. And he actually was a stunt coordinator on Inception. So worked with Chris Nolan as well.
Ah, yes.
Oh, connections everywhere. I was really hoping you were going to say Cabin in the Woods. But we can't have everything.
But anywho.
I really like, though, the way Batman stops him. Because it's quite strange. Yeah. It's not what you would expect.
I have no idea what this thing is that he has. I don't know. I don't know what its practical use is in any other situation. Like it's literally if he wants to knock over a cup, he can throw this thing out. I don't get what it is. It's much like it's like the scissors on the Batwing. It's just like, what else is he going to need that for? It
kind of looks like a pancake flipper to me that they put on an extender.
That's what I thought, because I went frame by frame, right? Like, and I still couldn't quite figure it out. He takes him out with like a palm strike, and like a metal rod comes out with what would you call that? Like a little metal plate? On it, like which deflects the blade. That makes sense, and he knocks him down. But why did he have that?
Well, I think in what might have happened is that, as Molly said, this actually is a pancake flipper, and he's accidentally taken Alfred's gloves. Because Alfred has these around for Pancake Tuesday, so he can make like 1 million pancakes really easily. And then Batman accidentally picked up his gloves, and now Alfred's back home trying to make pancakes with a normal spatula. And he's like, it's just not the same.
I really hope that someone manufactures a pancake flipping glove like this.
Oh my God.
That would
amazing.
Be genius. Oh. Well, there was a Batman symbol-shaped pancake sort of mold that we saw on Twitter, I think. So, he is fond of the old pancakes, Batman.
Actually, I feel bad, not the backtrack is in, but I've just paused in a second here of the first time in this minute when Batman turns around, like when he, when he reacts to the bat my belfry bit. If you actually pause that, in the background, it looks as if there's like a goat skull on top of like a pillar. It's a really weird thing. If you actually see it, it just looks like, it's a kind of weird.
On the right?
On the left.
Oh, no. Oh. On the left, that's the gargoyle that we're going to see.
No, I mean, like, the first time, like, maturely said I have a bat in my belfry, and then, Batman spins around.
Oh, wait, I see it. Yeah, okay, I was looking at it when you hear him speak. Okay, yeah. That is a skull. There is something quite creepy and horror movie about this section, which again, would kind of tie in with Cabin in the Woods there.
Yes.
It's kind of shot like, and dealt with like a horror scene.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really love that build-up. But it's also quite
I got the
like weirdly romantic as well. These lovely floodlights. It reminded me a bit of like in The Simpsons when Skinner and Krabappel are like held up in the school, refusing to come out because it's the episode where it's revealed that they're having an affair, or not an affair, they're just together. And then like the Bart's trying to get them. He's trapped in there with them, and then the police are like, "All right, blast the music at them," and they put on like really romantic music. And it's like, all right, get the lights on. And then it's just like the lovely floodlights just make everything really romantic and stuff. It's kind of like that. But
yeah, I can see that. I mean, I was thinking, to me, it was this is all very cerebral. And obviously it's not to this degree, don't get me wrong. It's a very toned down version of it. But it made me think of those sort of scarecrow scenes in the Batman Arkham games, You know, the way he's kind of manipulating, he's playing with his mind. Of course, they take it to a crazy extreme. Don't get me wrong. In those games, you end up hallucinating and everything. But, you know, it's that kind of, you know, he's messing with him. He's toying with him. It's almost like a house of horrors. Because, you know, this guy jumps from out of nowhere and to take him down. Ineffectually, as we've said.
Well, I think we might one other thing about when he's coming before Batman literally manages to deflect him quite easily, which seems to be just a recurring thing with Joker goons. He's got a, you know, until we see the guy who's also coming up pretty soon, he's got a fairly low caliber of goon. This guy, except for Bob, but of course Bob's now dead tragically, or potentially in the hospital with Knox, as we had our little tumbler ship of Knob or Box. As we're trying to make that a thing a couple of weeks ago.
I like the way we're just creating Tumblr ships. Like I have no drawing ability, but I kind of want to just draw terrible Tumblr ships and just upload them all over the place of just all these characters hooking up, like I'm a teenager.
I love Tumblr's ability to just for some reason, just connect any two characters, and like now they're romantically engaged. It's just like anyone. It could be like the Joker and I don't know, friggin' that guy who drew the picture of Batman, like the guy played by Cassandra's dad from Only Fools and Horses, way back in like minute 16 or whatever it was.
OTP.
But anyway,
yeah, where the hell were we? He knocked him down with the palm strike, didn't he?
Yeah, as the guy's coming towards him, this is one of those things though. Like, yeah, he flips up and he kind of clicks his heels together, and then the knives come out, and then it seems as if this is going on a little. You could again comically extend this. It keeps cutting to your Batman and back to the knives, and then
just keep doing it.
Yeah, it could be again. I think we did it was another scene, but this could be like Lancelot in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where he's still waiting for this guy to come.
Possibly my favorite comedy scene of all time, may I point out.
But this guy. I wonder if this blow had landed. What would it have been? Like it would have stabbed Batman in like the chest and then kind of flop down because it's like
break his own neck.
Yeah, it seems like the two of them was ended up like tumbling onto the floor. It wouldn't have been a clean kill anyway. Whatever would have happened.
Well, as we've seen, Batman's armor is a very thick rubber. Like, I don't think it actually would have done much to him. He's shot, hasn't he? So...
Yeah. I mean, because he chose to do the pancake flipper defect. But then it's like, well, I think he could have just stepped out of the way. Like, this guy... Because the guy was making such an announcement that he was coming as well. There was just no... There was no way he was ever going to beat him, really, because he's just...
Yeah.
But oh well. But then another matter I suppose we should bring up now is like, so the Joker, he called for the helicopter to come collect him in 10 minutes. Why are these goons up there already? How did they get there? They didn't go up the stairs with him. So how did they get there? Like, were they just waiting on? Because we know this guy, he was down at the parade. So why are these Joker goons there all of a sudden? And then I have seen people posit this online of like, oh, it would have been the helicopter would have dropped them off, but he's waiting for the helicopter. Yeah, so like, if the helicopter was there, why wouldn't he just get on straight away? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm just the only thing I can think of, even remotely, which is still stupid. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty stupid. Is I mean, were they maybe there already as part of the parade thing? Like maybe they were like lookouts,
right?
Watching things with binoculars. I don't know why they would be.
Well,
but...
as I say though, we did see this Gymnast guy. He was down dancing by the Licorice All Sorts.
He was at the parade.
Maybe he nipped off like as soon as things started going bad. He's like, I'm going to go to the top of this church for whatever reason.
He was actually hiding, and then when Joker got there, he's like, "You're here." He's like, "Yeah, boss, I was clearing the area for you." Yeah, honestly, it's fine. There's no one here.
Well, there's a lot of those goons. I just kind of figured that they just went up there for like a smoke or something. They're like, there's a ton of these guys. We got this. We just dumped a bunch of gas onto people. Do we really need to be down here for this? We're going to go up to the bell tower. It's cool. We've always wanted to go up there, check it out.
Yeah,
it's a local scene. I've never done it. Bob, have you done that? No. Okay, let's go up there. Let's go check it out. And then they just happen to be of use, and maybe they just hit it that. Hey, we knew you'd be up here. We knew you'd need help. I just covered it up and it was great.
I am on board with that theory. I love it. But it also then made me think of another theory of maybe it's the reverse of a basement show. Maybe their band's putting on a show up the top of this cathedral.
Oh, awesome.
So, the gooning is their day job. They need to pay, for amps and strings and everything. So this is them. They're setting up for the show. The crowd's not there yet. They haven't got the equipment in, but they're, they're getting the place done.
Like, once this guy's done with his parade, come on up to the top of the cathedral.
Free show.
Free show. That'd be great, though. Some guys did land up. It's like, what the hell's happening here?
Although, would it being the reverse of a basement show, would it still have someone's old dog in the corner? Basement shows always have a random dog just sat there, which draws attention away from the band.
Yeah, I'm wondering now as well, if, like the bell. Obviously, people can't get up there now because the bell fell down, blocked the doorway. But wonder if that's what Gordon was there for. He's like, I'm going to see this band tonight, and he's just like, oh, what's this flaming wreck? Oh, come on, Ed and Lou, let's go up to the stairs. And now he's just like, oh Christ, there's a bell in the way. What are we gonna do? I'll try to move it.
So Gordon's a supporter of the local punk scene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He was a guy. He was a. Let's posit he's like maybe 50 here. Back in the height of punk would be 77, 76. So he would have been in his 30s. He's still cool. He's still cool in his 30s.
Right, but now he's the chief of police. That's not cool.
Yeah.
He's not sticking it to the man. He is the man.
Oh, he's taking it down. That's why the police force is so bad. Is because he's taking it down from the inside. He's actually doing what all those Ethan Hawke-esque reality bite slackers were saying they were going to do by getting jobs in the 90s. But they were like, no, I'm taking it down from the inside. He's actually doing it.
To you, Gordon.
He's doing it so well. They had to get Batman. Batman had to be created because Gordon was doing such a terrible job as police commissioner.
And in a way, what's more DIY and punk than Batman?
Yeah,
he might be rich, but he's doing it himself.
Yeah, totally.
It's true.
Speaking of music, now we get the music once again kicks in. We get in the track "Waltz to the Death." Another, ostensibly is the Joker theme, which we heard very briefly during when he first showed up when he shot Grissom, and now we're getting a sort of a full playing of the entire track, and that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I really like it, and there's a good reason we get it as well, of course, because Batman looks up and he spies Joker there out on the rooftop. He's got Vicky. And they are dancing though. That is a waltz, right? I'm not really. I don't know much about dancing.
Yeah, looks pretty waltz like.
Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah. Are you? Do either of you dance? I dance like a buffoon.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I do dance, but I can't dance. Is the thing.
Yeah. Okay, can either of you dance? That's the question.
No. I think I was forced to take dance as a child, but really, I think now as an adult, it's just more bouncing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more, middle aged. Like, I'm just sort of bouncing to the music. People are far too cool for school here to actually do like legit dancing.
Oh, no, that's a shame. See, I go for it. I dance like everyone in every 80s movie. There's a lot of hands going all over the place.
I love it.
Can't help myself.
I try to do the South Park goth dance, where it's just sort of like shuffling from side to side and then pretend to smoke a cigarette, and just that's the whole thing. That's my whole dance.
That works. That fits. I'm on board, and that fits Batman. That's how Batman would dance, I think.
The thing is, then in the aftermath, like the dancing starts, and then obviously Joker's trying to save some face of like, well, he hired this one idiot goon who could do a lot of gymnastics, but he couldn't do much else. And then he's like, oh, don't worry, this next guy is gonna get him. And then
this one will knock your socks off.
Yeah, another major embarrassment for another goon is that Lawrence, as the goon with the tune, the guy, DJ Priest, as George Hendricks called him, jumps out from behind and then instantly falls through the floor, which is great. Like, it's a great scene.
It's that really blew my mind. For some reason, I did not remember that even happening. That's the best bit of comedy, because Batman essentially has like taken him out without even moving.
I think even Batman himself looking down the hole like, oh, that was a freebie. Like, even he's a bit like, Christ, like, oh, this is going to be easy.
That still counts.
Oh, yeah, he's totally, oh, yeah, no, that still counts as one.
I do love how he yells before he hits the ground and just falls through. Like, I mean, there's no stealth to these guys. I mean, you're right. These guys are really just shit. Even the gymnast guy was like yelling through the back handsprings. Just in case you weren't sure someone's going to go and fly at you with knives, I'm going to go ahead and yell while I'm making the motion and expend more energy. Yeah. And this poor schmuck just like yells again, just boom, right through the floorboards.
It is like a video game, isn't it? Like you're playing Streets of Rage. No. and the enemies come at you like one at a time. Like, oh, I've beaten this guy. Here's an even tougher one. It's like one after another. But there's always a trick to take them out. It's like you have to lure him onto this one spot on the floor.
Yeah. Then Batman's gonna go and find an entire cooked turkey in a dumpster nearby and eat that as a level up. But yeah, I also love the guy. It's like, I think it's because it's the cockiness in his yell, because it's a real like like I kill, aha, I've got you now, and it's the instant like like
I've got you this time, Batman.
Just, again, in this universe, as film logic dictates, we don't see a body, so as far as we know, Lawrence might live. You never know.
Oh, the next Batman movie, The Return of Lawrence.
Oh.
Like, what would his gimmick be? Because Batman's all these crooks have to have like a Joker. Jack Napier fell into a bunch of chemicals and he came out looking like a clown. So now he's a clown guy, and Victor Freeze ironically had the name Freeze, and then got involved in a thing where he has to be nearly frozen all the time, and now he has a freeze ray, so he's Mr. Freeze. Well, this Lawrence would be like Rotten Wood Man.
Now, see, my thinking is he falls, he goes all the way down, hits the floor, but he lands on top of his boombox. Right, so now he can only communicate. He's lost his speaking ability. He can only communicate through the boombox. So he has to play like clips of tapes to speak to people.
Is that not the Bumblebee in the Transformers movie? That's his whole...
Maybe that's where it's coming from.
Oh,
no, not
yeah,
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is Bumblebee, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Bumblebee.
So I remember, because I've not watched all the Transformers, like I only made it to the end of the second one, but I remember like they explained it, the first one was like, yeah, he has to do that because his voice box is broken, and then at the end of the movie, he has it's fixed, and then obviously Michael Bay was like, no, people really like this whole he has to play like little clips. So I think from what I've heard in all the other movies, he does that all the time. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. His voice box was fixed. Why is it broken again all of a sudden?
I think they explain it away with like one line of, oh yeah, it broke.
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would accept that over a story, like a convoluted explanation.
That's the thing. It makes you really feel bad for the guy, because it's like, oh, he's a man. He's lost his own voice. Like it's kind of tragedy. But yeah, anyway. Transformers Minute.
We get another goon jumping out again.
Yeah.
And this guy's a bit more effective, isn't he? He grabs Batman and he slams him through a wooden beam and out onto the rooftop just as the minute ends.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah.
I think we can go deeper with this guy next minute, because his next 2 minutes actually he features quite prominently, this fella. So
spoiler alert.
Yeah. But he is very much like, after it's really kind of like he's gonna have to make up for the brand, because it's kind of like every Joker goon has failed so miserably. Because even the good ones, even Bob, when he was confronted with Batman, ran away. Like, remember, he had the knife and then he just went, oh, screw this, and ran away. So I guess this is the one guy's like, no, I'm going to actually do this, and I'm going to take this guy out. And so far, he seems to be doing quite well. So
this guy is the super battle droid.
Exactly.
Whereas the other Joker goons were just battle droids.
Exactly. Yes.
Although, having said that, the super battle droids don't do much.
Yeah. Well, this is completely irrelevant, and I'll probably cut this bit out. But like, because the thing that's been, in all the cacophony of complaints about The Last Jedi, many of which are completely irrelevant. One that did kind of I was baffled by is in Captain Phasma has armor that deflects blaster bolts, and it's like, why doesn't every stormtrooper have that then? Like, what's...
Oh, well...
I'm sure there is an explanation, but it seems crazy that they have the technology to do that, but they haven't made that standard issue, which is nuts to me.
Well, I mean, you could say... Yeah, okay, with the Empire, it makes sense because they don't care. They've got limitless soldiers, okay, but the First Order don't. So you'd think they would. Now, her armor, having read the Phasma book, is Palpatine's shuttlecraft thing from Naboo.
Oh.
She uses the panels of his Naboobian spaceship
Wow.
to forge her armor. That's literally what it is. But if they've got the technology to make that ship, I mean, I think it's very expensive is the thing, though.
Oh, but again, though, I suppose, it could be the whole, they have to get into the political positioning of the First Order, because at least with the Empire, it's like they have limitless resources. But yeah, the First Order is a bit more like, well, they're kind of in charge, but they're still, this civil war seems to be a very genuine threat to them rather than like, the rebellion. It's like, whatever. But anyway,
that's Minute 89.
Yeah, that's not our property
mandate
to discuss. So I'm sure when Star Wars Minute get to that particular minute in like 3 or 4 years, whenever they'll get to that one shot of the thing deflecting, Phasma's armor deflecting that blaster bolt, they'll talk about it in depth. So
yeah, so we'll 8-day Greedo them anyway. We'll call him. But I am actually tapped out for notes for this one.
Yeah, as am I.
Good to go.
All done. Well, Molly, I'm sure the good listeners probably listen to your show anyway. But just in case they don't, would you like to tell them where they can find you and your good work?
Yes, we are taking apart Cabin in the Woods 1 minute at a time at cabinminutecast.com, and we're at Cabin Minute Cast on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook.
And definitely check it out because it's a bit different. It's a bit of a different genre for one of these Movies by Minutes podcasts. As of recording, I mean, by the time it comes out, there might be like 50 people doing, we're going to do comedy horror kind of things. But it's certainly unique at the moment. It's an excellent choice, very different. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you don't want something different and you want us, then message us on Facebook. If you really want to stick with us, if you're really hardcore, we are on the Batman 89 Listeners Society, and we're all over Twitter and stuff as well. Just look us up. Whatever.
I've also discovered. I'm just briefly remembering that I wanted to do this. Going through Richard Jenkins' IMDb, and he's not in a DC property, but he was in Wolf with Jack Nicholson. So there you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
Hey.
bam. There we go.
And on that bombshell, we are out of here with Minute 107. We'll be back on Friday, and we will have Minute 108. Believe it or not, this is sequential. See you then.
Next time, talk about headbanging. As our imperiled paladin trays punches over the parapet, our putrid Punchinello keeps on prancing. But what false flag gag does the Joker have in the bag? Find out Friday. Same Bat Pod,
Different Bat Minute.